Everybody, and welcome to the replay. My name is DavidSWinston, and thank you for joining me. Hope you're doing well. Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going to be talking about how you can be successful in life. All of us want to be successful. I know you do. I do. So let's get it in. All right. I want to thank you for joining. We're going to talk about being successful. Hey, Jacqueline. How you doing? How you doing? I'm gonna try to get the scope in before I leave for the day. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, coming in, and invite your friends, invite your followers, because we're gonna talk about something that's very important. The most dangerous thing about failure. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great evening. God's first girl, hello, first timer. Hey, thanks for coming on the scope. I appreciate it. Remember to follow so you don't miss any of the scopes, but thank you for jumping on. James, what's up? What's up? Hey, God's child, 1105. Hey, how you doing? So, Kingdom 5 million. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, thanks for jumping on the scope. Invite your friends, invite your followers, tweet it, Facebook it. And remember, if I'm saying something you like, tap, tap, tap the screen. The way you share is you will on Android devices swipe up and press the share button. The way you do it on Apple devices is you will swipe from left to right, press the share button, and then you can invite your followers. You can invite people via Twitter and Facebook. And so let's get it going. Thanks for all the hearts. I appreciate that in advance. So I'm going to hit you with a quick stat. This is one of our presidents, one of our founding, I guess you could call them founding fathers in a way. Wasn't one of the original founding fathers, but one of the presidents that is well known, a president that you know, dropped out of elementary school. Hey, dropped out of elementary school, went broke in his business, ran for U.S. Senate and lost both times, ran for the U.S. House of Representatives and lost both times. And this was all before becoming one of our greatest presidents in U.S. history. I'm talking about Abraham Lincoln. Can you believe it? Now, he had a lot of opportunities to accept failure, but he didn't. You know, one of the most dangerous things about failure is internalizing failure as a persona. And we were talking about this in our devotion time this morning, that it's one thing to fail. It's one thing to not have things go the way you want them to. It's one thing to have a situation not play out in your favor and that situation failed. But it's another thing to accept failure as a persona, as part of your identity. And I think one of the things I've learned the most about myself and about people is oftentimes people don't separate the situation from the person of themselves. And they'll experience failure in some area of their lives, and they'll adopt that failure as a part of who they are and a part of their identity. And it starts to lead them down a course where they see themselves as a failure, and it starts to make things hard for them, and it makes things hard for them to accomplish from that point forward. And I really believe that one of the most dangerous things about failure is you have to not adopt failure as your identity. You might have failed at a business, maybe you failed at a business plan, maybe you failed in school, maybe you wanted to go back to school and that failed. Maybe you feel like you're failing raising kids, or maybe you've raised a child already and you feel like you failed them, or maybe you feel like you're not up to speed and up to par in your work and job, maybe, whatever it is. And that's right. A righteous man falls down 7 times, but gets back up again. And I believe that it's so dangerous to internalize failure and to start to look at yourself as a failure. And I'm just here to encourage you just for a couple moments that you are not a failure. And even though you might have failed in life, you are not a failure, because you are a product of what God has designed you to be. And that's not a failure. God doesn't make defects, failures, or mistakes. And you're somebody who's been designed on purpose. And I want to let you know that just because you've experienced failure doesn't mean you have to internalize it and accept it as your reality, as I'm a failure. Just like weightlifting and in weightlifting, as you push those weights, you're making your muscles stronger. Muscles actually, they break down. The small muscle fibers, they actually tear. And as they tear, the thing that makes you stronger is when they grow back. And when they grow back stronger. And I'm glad Abraham Lincoln was one of your favorite presidents. Well, I'm glad you learn something new every day. And those muscles grow back stronger. and you get stronger. You know, your biceps get stronger, your legs get stronger. You know, whatever you're working on, whatever muscles you're working on, they get stronger if you don't quit, if you don't give up. And it's like life is the same way, that the only true failure that we can experience is quitting. Because quitting is the only thing that says that now this failure is permanent, because it means that I'm stopping trying. I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not going to do anymore. I'm just going to stop. If I stop weightlifting, if I quit it, then that means that I am abandoning growth. And a job and part of my assignment here is to help you grow and to help you understand that you can't abandon the growth pattern, and that muscles aren't developed without resistance. And you're going to have resistance in life, but that's helping you grow. Hey, how you doing? You're so good at this, PD, for real, for real. All right, so let's keep going. I got a couple more points for you. Thank you, Tiffany. So you are in charge of your own growth and development. Now, I know God is leading you down this path, but you're in charge of your own growth and development. And here's what I mean. And I was listening to my mom. She did a little teaching back in 2013 on this. And I thought this was real good. So I'm going to share it with you. You have seasons in life. All of us have seasons in life, right? And if you haven't shared this broadcast yet, please share. Please tweet, please Facebook post, and share with your followers. Even if you're on the replay, please share this with somebody else, because I believe what I'm about to say right now is really going to encourage somebody. And if you're liking this, just go ahead and tap on the screen. When God is ready for you to grow, he takes you out of your comfort zone. Absolutely. So thank you, Tina. Thank you, Kronga, Destiny. Thank you. They all band. Thank you for sharing. So this is what I want to tell you. Everybody goes through seasons in life. It talks about in the Bible in Genesis chapter 8, verse 22, that as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, those things shall not cease. And you know, something that's interesting and important to know is that fall and spring are transition seasons. And really what the major seasons are is summer and winter. Those are major seasons. You can see major differences. You come up to Chicago where I am, maybe not in Miami where you might be, or maybe somewhere warm where you might be, but come up to Chicago where I am, and those are major different seasons. Right now there's snow on the ground. And those are transition seasons. And people who aren't used to winter, like let's say you've grown up in a tropical climate. Let's say you come from South America or somewhere that is very hot. Let's say you come from Africa. I'm going to Africa next week, and you don't know about seasons traditionally because you live in a very tropical climate. Then you might come to Chicago in the middle of winter, in the middle of February, and look at trees with no leaves, and you could be convinced to think that there is something drastically wrong, right? Because these trees that usually have leaves are barren. Imagine being from somewhere that is a hot climate, a desert climate, and then coming to Chicago for the very first time and seeing no leaves on the trees, and it's so cold, and you're like, well, what's going on? Are all these plants dead? And no, so what I'm here to tell you is that sometimes it's easy to misinterpret the seasons of your life, and what looks dead, what looks like it's not progressing, what looks like it is foreign, what looks like this is failure, is not really failure, it's growth. And just like a tree has to go through winter, it has to go through fall, it has to go through spring just to get to summer, you have to go through seasons in your life to get to where God wants you to go. And every season is necessary and conducive because every season has growth in it. For a tree, trees right now in Chicago have no leaves on it. Doesn't mean that they're not growing though. And it actually means that they are continuing the process of growing because fall had to happen, leaves had to leave, in order for spring and the buds to come, in order for those leaves to grow back bigger, for harvest to come, and for that tree to continue to grow. So notice the only way that the tree stops growing is if it is cut down or completely uprooted. That's the only way that the tree stops growing. But other than that, that tree is growing. It's just going through seasons of growth. And right now you're going through seasons of growth. And don't let your winter season convince you that you are a failure. Even though you might be experiencing some level of failure at this moment, maybe you might be experiencing a challenge or something that feels barren. Let me tell you that your season of growth is here. and decide to grow. You got to decide to grow. I look at the plants and I look at the bushes around our house on the outside. And right now, they're just kind of shrubs with branches. They don't have any leaves on them. But I remember when we first moved in 2.5 years ago, those things were so much smaller than they are now. And what's weird is I look at them and they look dead. At first glance, in the middle of winter, they look dead. They look like, obviously, this thing is dead. But if I keep looking long enough and I keep going through the seasons, I'll notice the leaves grow back and then they'll fade and wither and then it'll go to nothing and then they'll grow back. And it'll continue that process. And pretty soon, the bush that was only 2 feet tall, 5 years later, is now 10 feet tall. But notice that there was an opportunity every year for me to look at that plant and say that this thing is dead, this thing is gone, this thing is buried, I should uproot it, there's not even a leaf on it. I want to let you know that your season of growth is here and that fall is necessary. Hey, when the leaves fall down off the trees, that's necessary. Why is it necessary? Because it's conducive for growth. It's necessary. It's necessary to help us yield fruit. And winter is necessary and spring is necessary. Growth is what leads to success. And failure can just be like a passing season. And I believe that it's that quitting or uprooting of that tree that stops the growth process. I'm going to leave you with this, okay? No dream can survive a person who quits. No dream. There's not a dream on this earth that can survive a person who quits. Yeah, you can't circumvent the process. You're right, James. You can't circumvent the process and you can't quit or give up on your dream. I'm here talking to you and I'm telling you, don't abandon your dream. And even when it looks hard, even when it looks like it's not possible, even when it looks like things are folding up, you feel like you're in the middle of the winter season, don't abandon your dream. Somebody else is counting on you. Somebody else is anticipating you. Somebody else is waiting on you. There's something that is dormant in you maybe right now because it's a winter season. But let me tell you, there's something that is ready to be birthed through you. And it is your gift. It is your purpose. It is your assignment. It is whatever God has placed you on this earth to do. Don't abandon the process just because you see some snowflakes on the ground and just because you see no trees or no fruit on the trees and no leaves on the trees. Don't abandon, okay? Don't quit. Keep going. Every season is absolutely necessary. And sometimes, we don't have a far view of our lives. Sometimes we can have this short-sighted view, but, I've learned in this season to have a long-sighted view to say, what I'm going through this week, it doesn't define what my next several years are going to be like. But if I quit, that can start to define what my next several years are going to look like. If I stop, if I decide to give up, if I decide to abandon the thing that I was called to do, the thing that I was placed on this earth to do. Miles Monroe says this, he says, one of the richest places in the earth is not a diamond mine, is not a gold mine, it's not an oil field. It's actually the grave, because that's where a lot of dreams and potential and purpose, it went to die. Never being released in this earth, never being put out, never being expelled. And your dreams. No dream can survive a person who quits. I think that's what you're looking at, James. No dream can survive a person who quits. Don't be a quitter. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep pushing. I don't care what it looks like. Keep going. Keep pushing, okay? Rehearse your past victories. That's one of the best ways to be able to get over this current situation is rehearse those past victories. Think about times that you did it before. Think about times that God helped you through it before. Think about times that you overcame before. Think about times that you were challenged beyond what you felt like you could do, but you overcame and you did it, and God helped you do it. And just know that exactly what Destiny's saying. It's kind of like how diamonds are formed under pressure, and that those pressures are necessary for that diamond to be formed. And what you're going through is necessary for you to become who you need to be. So when you arrive at the landing place of destiny and you arrive at the address of your destiny, then you won't be forfeiting destiny, because you'll be the person that your destiny requires you to be for you to be able to fulfill what you need to do. And so God is going to take you through it. He's going to help you. And I believe that as you get around good people and surround yourself with people who can encourage you, will help you through too. That's part of my assignment. That's why God placed me here on this earth, to help motivate you to get to your place of destiny. And let me tell you, I go through it too. I'm human. I go through it, every week. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have different leadership responsibilities, and sometimes it can be challenging. It can get tough, and you can be tempted to think that, am I really making a difference? Am I really standing out? Are people even listening? Are the things that we're planning to do, is this really going to help somebody? But let me tell you, it does help somebody. And you know how God is so cool in the way that he'll send somebody across your path to step out of their way to go encourage you in that thing that you did, that thing that you said, the thing that you made available to them. And they'll say, hey, this was so awesome. I just wanted to just come by real quick and let you know how awesome this was. And it's always right at the right time. And I want to let you know that your encouragement might mean the world to somebody else, because you never know what somebody else is going through. And so you got to activate that dormant gift in you. And yes, Destiny, you're exactly right. He who begun a good work will be faithful to complete it. And that's it, guys. So I hope this encouraged you. But remember, life is all about seasons. Don't give up in the seasons where it looks barren, the seasons where it looks cold, the seasons where it looks like nothing is happening. Because to somebody else, it might look like nothing's happening, but you got to know that something is happening. And, somebody once said this, and I love this quote, that don't abandon your process because your process doesn't look like somebody else's process. Just because your success doesn't look like somebody else's success, you can't abandon your process. All of our successes are going to be different. All of our processes are going to be different. James's process is going to be different than Tony, aka the believer's process. And then Carmela's process is going to be different than Natasha's process at Modism Holdings. Everybody's process is different. Everybody's place of success is going to look different, because everybody has a different sphere of influence and a different people that they reach. And those people speak different languages of success, and they don't speak success the same way. We all have different dialects in which we understand and interpret truths. And so they need what you have to say and what you have to offer. And you may be able to do it in a way that I can never do it. And I can do it in a way that you may never be able to do it. Doesn't mean one person's better than the other. It just means how necessary we both are. That's it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for tapping the screen and all the hearts. Thank you for sharing. And if you didn't have a chance to share, even on the replay, please share this with somebody else, because encouragement is so necessary. You know what I really, really love about Periscope? And thank you, James. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you, Natasha. Do you believe that your areas of trial is your area of ministry? Sometimes. Sometimes, sometimes it's just kind of life stuff. Sometimes it's ministry stuff. And then sometimes it just kind of blends together in a way that only God can help us grow through. So sometimes, but something I really love about Periscope is a great community to be encouraged, because you have so many awesome people around that are just giving you encouragement. And don't get me wrong, I mean, you get people doing all kind of stuff, and you got, people that are in here trying to solicit their body and stuff. But, you got all kind of people who are encouraging you to get better and saying, hey, you can do it, and giving you daily words of wisdom and advice and just helping you and showing you some love. And so show them some love back. Remember, when you're on their Periscope, not just my scope, when you're on people's Periscope, make sure to tap the screen, give them some hearts, because it's encouraging. It lets them know that they're making a difference. And sometimes you never know that somebody may feel like they're not making a difference, and your encouragement by hearts or your comments, they really help encourage somebody else to let them know that, wow, my words are making a difference. This is helping people. This is encouraging somebody. And so even if you're watching the replay, same for you. You might not be able to comment, but you can give hearts, you can show love, you can share with somebody else. And that really encourages your Periscoper that, yeah, they're making a difference, and it gives them fuel to keep going. So thank you, Natasha, thank you, James, thank you, Destiny, thank you, guys. Transform, WOG, thank you so much. I appreciate all the love. Thank you. And please make sure to share this with somebody else. My name is DavidSWinston. If you're not following already, please follow. I love to encourage people, and I would love to encourage you in your life's journey. But the common is the most important person on the earth is the Holy Spirit. Absolutely. I completely, wholeheartedly agree with you. Just Wednesday. I think somebody asked a question about when do we have youth services. I'm a youth pastor here at Living Word Christian Center at the Go Hard for Christ Youth Ministry. We have youth services every Wednesday night, 6:45 here in the Annex building in Forest Park. So please come join us. If you are a youth or teenager, young adult, come on out, join us. We have a lot of fun. I like to go hard and teach the Word of God and encourage young people in their destiny. Because hey, let's face it, we all need encouragement, especially when we're like 15. Me at 15 needed a lot of encouragement. So I know we all need that. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Please share this with somebody else. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you guys showing all the love. You guys are awesome. And we'll do it again tomorrow.